Before you pay that medical bill, stop, because there's a real chance it's wrong. And I don't mean slightly wrong. I mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars wrong.
Welcome to the walkthrough.
Welcome to the walkthrough. I'm your host, Ken Davis, and I'd like to welcome you to our channel. This channel is about empowering you to advocate for yourself and your loved ones if you're ever facing a medical crisis, a medical challenge, or a medical illness. Now, before we begin, if this channel is helping you, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and follow us as we navigate this journey of self-advocation in the medical world. So let me give you a first caveat here. This information provided is for informational and educational purposes only. The information we discuss in this episode is not legal or medical advice. Please consult your legal or medical professionals in your state for professional advice. Most people get a bill, they look at the bill, and they look at the total and they feel stressed and they just pay it because it feels official. It feels final. And honestly, it feels overwhelming to question it. But here's the truth. Medical billing is complicated and mistakes happen all the time. You will see duplicate charges, you'll see incorrect codes, and you'll even be billed for services you were never given. And if you don't check it, guess what? No one else will either. In 1996, we had our first child in Delaware. I was gainfully employed, as was my wife, and we had great medical coverage through our employers. And I remember we were so overjoyed. We were first-time parents, and for the first few months, we were experiencing the highs and the lows of raising a new life. And anyone who's been a parent understands what I'm talking about. Now, 3 months later, I got a call from a collection agency because I apparently, unbeknownst to me, had a bill in excess of $5,000 for the hospital bill for my wife's labor and care. So what do? I start paying it. No questions, not even reading the charges. I mistakenly presumed if they sent me the bill, they must be right. But I couldn't have been more wrong. After paying a substantial amount of money for about 4 to 5 months, I had a good friend at work ask me a simple question. Ken, did you review the bill before you paid it? I was embarrassed to admit I didn't review the bill. I remember I rushed home and I looked at the bill and I was amazed that the bill was an aggregate amount, but no breakdown of the charges. So I called the billing department and I asked them to provide an itemized bill. They said they would send it, but guess what? Nothing came. I called again and again and again, and they promised and they promised and they promised, and I never got a bill. I never got an itemized bill. Now, after several attempts, I just got tired of talking over the phone. I went to the hospital on my own and demanded the itemized bill. An hour later, they provided it to me. And I remember that Friday, I took it home and I sat there Friday evening and all weekend, and I went over that bill with a fine-tooth comb. When I finished reviewing that bill, I found out that $1,750 of that $5,000 owed were duplicate charges and charges for services they never rendered my wife. What made it worse is my insurance company had already paid 98% of the bill, and I should have never paid anything except for 2%, which was the equivalent of $500. Now, at that time, I was in law school, and at that time, I was able to use my knowledge of the law to file a complaint, which resulted in them returning everything I had paid, which was over $1,000 plus interest at prime. So trust me when I tell you, I know this area very well. But understand, I'm not giving you legal or medical advice. Even though I am and was an attorney, I am not providing you legal advice, just my experience and knowledge on the subject matter. So before you pay any medical bill, there are a few steps you should always take. And these can literally save you thousands of dollars. So let's start with the first one. Step 1, always ask for an itemized bill, not the summary, not the one-page total. You want the full breakdown because that's where errors hide. You could call and you could say, hey, look, can you send me an itemized bill for this visit? And when you get it, actually go through it. Look for charges that don't make sense. Things listed multiple times, services you don't remember receiving. When even small errors add up, they add up pretty fast. And here are the most common mistakes that you will find when you review your itemized bill. You will find duplicate charges. You may find wrong procedure codes. You'll also find charges for canceled tests. And also, you'll see charges for medications you never received. And here's the key: you don't have to be an expert. You just have to question things that don't look right. If something seems off, call them and ask, "Can you explain this charge?" That alone can trigger a review. This is the part most people don't realize. Now, here's another part you don't realize. You can actually negotiate medical bills, yes, legally. You can say, "Is there a self pay discount available?" You can also ask them, "Do you offer financial assistance?" You can also ask them, "Is there a prompt pay discount?" Hospitals would rather get paid something than nothing, so they often reduce their bill. Here's another powerful question you can ask: can this be recoded? See, medical billing codes determine how much you're charged, and sometimes changing the code can significantly reduce the cost. And here's the important thing you need to understand: you're not being difficult by asking questions. What you're doing is you're being responsible. Because why? This is your money. This is your care. Your responsibility is to understand it. So, beloved, if this video has helped you, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. I hope in this few minutes we've had together, you feel empowered and informed. If you wish to reach us, you can reach us on our Instagram page, which is above, as well as our email address. So do me a favor, subscribe for more tools on self-advocacy in healthcare, and check out the next video on your rights as a patient. And seriously, don't pay that bill until you've gone through this process. Blessings.